Recording. Sorry, people watching the videotape. We already started, and then I remembered that we needed to videotape it, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing all over again. All right. So what is Science Olympiad? I know you guys saw the videos, and it looks really cool. Maybe you had friends that were in Science Olympiad, and so they probably talked a lot about it because it is a lot of fun. But I'll be straight up with you. It's a whole lot of work too. Okay. So Science Olympiad is a science competition that has 23 events. I've seen it in my video. Not really, so maybe I'll just send the PowerPoint as well. But it has 23 events, and you compete in a regional, that means like a section of the state, compete against other middle schools, okay? And at a state level. Now, if like we were to win the state, we would move on to the national level. There is also opportunities for us to do invitationals, which are kind of like practice competitions, but I am not sure if we're going to do those yet. So yes, question. Four. Okay. There are 23 events. Some of them are testing events. That means it's like paper and pencil, where you just get tested on your knowledge, right? Some of them are lab events. That means you have to actually do something in a lab station. You might have to mix chemicals, might have to identify chemicals, things like that. Okay, and then a few of the events are building events. And you may have noticed, if you came in our here last year, that we had like this really big thing that we built called Mission Possible. But some of the building events are like things that you build here in class, or airplanes, or I'm trying to think of hovercraft. That was another big one. So to see all the events that they have, you can go to their website. You can Google Science Olympiad events. Now we are in Division B, so make sure you look at the Division B events. The Division C events, scroll from that side. The Division C events are the high school events. You can see they start here. They categorize the events by different areas of science, right? Like life science, earth science, physics and chemistry, technology and engineering, inquiry. So there's different areas. I highly suggest, before you sign up, that you investigate if these are things that you want to learn about. Because Science Olympiad is like taking on an extra class. Does that kind of make sense? Okay. When you click, all these are hyperlinks, so you can click on them, like cryptology, and it tells you a little bit about what the event is about. Like cryptology is about the study of snakes. So if you like the study of snakes, Linnea really perked up there. If you like the study of snakes, that might be the event for you. It's a testing event, so we'll just ask you questions about snakes. Okay, you don't get to play with snakes. All right, let's get to the next slide. So how does this work? Okay, it's time consuming, right? It's time consuming. Our training or your studying is going to be done primarily outside of school. All right, that means that you have to be self-motivated. You guys know what self-motivated means? No one? You need to motivate yourself. That is right, right? Like, are you like a self-motivated person? Does their homework right away when they get home, right? They set a time to do their homework. They finish their homework. They always turn it in on time, that kind of thing, because they are responsible for themselves. Yeah, some people are looking like, wait, what? Like, if you are not good at keeping deadlines, this might not be for you, okay? That means, like, if you get lots of missing assignments, you got to be on top of things with this. I wanted to say something else about that. Yeah, just setting up yourself in a routine of like every Friday, I'm going to work on Science Olympiad, or every Saturday morning, I'm going to work on Science Olympiad. So that's important to find a time and place, whether it's home or the library, to work on Science Olympiad. It is 27 weeks long. That's 6 months. So we start now, And we continue to practice all the way until April. That's when the state competition is, right? So we prepare this whole time. The first part is kind of the hard part because we're starting at nothing, right? But then as you build your skills or tweak your machines that you build or practice studying or practice testing, right, it gets a little bit easier. Questions on that? Now, we recommend that you pick up 2 to 3 events. So if you're in 6th grade, I'm going to highly suggest you only do 2 events. Pick 2 events that you want to do, okay? If you are in 8th grade or 9th grade, you guys could probably easily pick up 3 events. If you're in 7th grade, I don't know you as well, I'm sorry. So I'll have to talk to you individually, or you can come talk to me if you're not sure if you should do 2 or 3. But you have to keep this in mind, all right? Each event is going to require probably about 2 hours a week. So if you're doing 3 events at 2 hours a week, how much time a week do you need to invest in this? 6 hours, right? That's a lot for some people because there's a lot of people that are in other things. There's sports, there's music, there's a social life, right? There's family time, there's homework. So there's a lot of other things that you need to consider if this is for you. Questions so far? All right. A team can only have 15 people compete. That is the Science Olympiad rules, not our rules. We can have as many people as we want on the team, but only 15 of those people are allowed to compete in a competition. So it's important that you are a good team player. It's essential for this. Before we talk about what it means to be a good team player, what does it mean to be a bad team member? Yeah. Don't do any of the work. I'm going to write some of these down. I'm going to get rid of my, it looked like a rainbow of Hershey's Kisses there. Don't do the work. He just told me his name and I can't remember. Say it again. Xavier. Okay. Forget. I love that name. Is it with an X? No. No, a Z? You're Xavier with a Z. Okay. I knew a Xavier with an X. No. Or Xavier, go ahead.
Not helping each other.
Not helping. Yeah. That's not a good team member. Nolan?
Not even showing up to any of.
Oh my gosh. Not showing up is not a good team member. I don't like that. Not showing up. Nick? Whining. Did you say whining? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Not listening. Did somebody have their hand up over there? I thought Erica did. No? Erica was stretching. Okay. All right. So these are things that we don't want to see, right? I'm so glad that you said this one, Nick, because I really don't like that one. You chose to be in this. You shouldn't be whining about it, right? Let's take a look at what it means to be a good team player. These are some of the opposites of what you guys just said, right? Reliability, always reliable, right? Get the job done. Meet deadlines, because we'll set deadlines. It helps with the goals of completing the task, right? Keeping their word. Do we have that on there? Not showing up. Like, for example, saying to your partner, because there's partners in this, saying to your partner, hey, yeah, let's work on this after school, and then you don't show up. Okay? That's not being very reliable. And providing consistent quality work. Doing a good job. Communication. That goes with the listening one, right? Communicate your ideas. And more importantly, respect the views of other people on the team. Okay? A great team player goes above and beyond. They do more than what is asked. Sometimes that means you have to take a risk, try something new, stepping outside of your comfort zone, right? Taking on more responsibilities. All right. A very important thing, I think somebody just left the Google Hangouts we were doing after school. Okay. For this competition or for this team, Science Olympiad, you have to be very adaptable and flexible. Okay, you could be working on your event and then you get really sick. Somebody else has to step in for you for the competition. It happened to us. Somebody got the flu and then somebody else had to take your place. Right? So you have to be flexible. It could happen. You have to be flexible because some of these events, we don't know. They don't tell us until we get a week away from the competition, the time and place they're going to be. Sometimes you could be in two events and they overlap. What if you studied really hard for herpetology and then you also did bottle rockets, but they're at the same time? You know what can happen? You're going to get somebody else to do the bottle rockets because somebody else can launch your rocket, but somebody else can't take the test that you studied for. So you got to be flexible in that way. All right. Displays genuine commitment. That goes with the showing up to meetings, right? That means showing up when you made time with your partner to study. Displaying passion, of course. You wouldn't be here if you didn't love science, right? All these faces that I see right now, I know are science-loving people, so I'm good with that. Give 110% and expect the same from your team members. Right? That's how a team operates. Any questions on any of these things that we're looking for? These are the expectations that the coaches are going to use. All right. So, like I said, there's only 15 people that compete. So how are we going to decide who gets to compete and who doesn't? Right? I'm going to tell you. Okay? These criteria that we will use to decide who gets to compete and who doesn't is not limited to just these few things I'm telling you right now. Okay? But attendance. Okay, your attendance is important. If you don't attend the meetings, then you're not going to get to compete. All right? Behavior. That's an obvious one. If you're not using your time wisely during the meetings or during practice times or during working times, all right, you're not going to get to compete. Grades. Just like with sports, you have to maintain a certain grade point average in order to participate. So grades are important too. You know, like if we get to a situation where a student that is in Science Olympiad is failing one of their classes, well then maybe you shouldn't be doing Science Olympiad, right? Maybe you should be focusing on that class that you're failing. Because this is an extra class. This is really an extra 2 to 3 classes. Come on, Abe, it's okay. It's an extra 2 to 3 classes that you're taking outside of the regular school day, right? Okay. Our first competition is going to be in January on the 27th. That's the regional competition. Now, like I said earlier, it's possible that we could do an invitational, but that will not be decided until we get the numbers of the people making up the team. Questions on any of that? I'm going to go to the next slide, so just look it over. Is there anything here you want me to repeat or touch upon or question or comment? No? All right. We saw that slide. So in a moment here, I'm going to give you all a slip just like this one. All right. This is not your contract. Okay, that would be like if you are actually joining the team, then I'll give you a contract that you have to sign that says, yes, you are available for these competition dates and things like that. This is just kind of an informational sheet for your parent so that they know that you want to join Science Olympiad and this is what it involves. So let's just look through this. It says to be a Science Olympian requires desire to be your best, drive to push forward, dedication to your goals, and discipline to reach them. And that one's always kind of hard for people, discipline. Other things that are important to parents especially. Okay, the entry fee is $30. So this includes t-shirts, if you want to get a t-shirt, but it includes t-shirts, it includes our supplies, it includes our, did I say supplies? Oh, it includes food on the days that we are having food or snacks for practices or meetings. All right, but mostly supplies and t-shirts is what it's going to go for. I need parents to know that only 15 members are allowed to compete. So we might need to explain that one to them, that the rules state only 15 can compete. Now, this whole time that we're working together, we could have 30 people working, and the 15 best are the ones that are going to go to the competition. Does that make sense? So sixth graders, don't be offended, but sixth graders, you got to keep in mind that the eighth, ninth graders, seventh graders too, have more science experience than you just because they're older. But I still think that you should participate. You know, you never know. Maybe you will be more successful than one of the older students. But it would also give you a lot of experience to participate now, so next year you would be on the competing team. Does that make sense? Okay, so the new people, it's your learning year. You've not done this before. Mandatory Monday meetings, 3:30 to 4:15. So that starts right after school. That's not a long meeting. Those meetings will be used to talk to whoever is advising your event. So Mrs. Ballard and I, Mr. Langle, Mr. Muehlbauer, Ms. Soik, and everybody's like, who are these people? Well, you guys aren't. You'll start to learn and recognize them fairly soon. But they are all high school teachers, and they're going to help us in our events. Myself included, I will help you in your events, okay? And so that's what those meetings are for, is to see how you're progressing, how you're doing, if you need help, should we get supplies, what kind of guidance you need, and to set deadlines. I keep saying deadlines. But you know how it is. Some people like to procrastinate, and then it's the day before the event, and we're still building machine, right? There is going to be a parent and student meeting on October 9th. This is important because it involves, we need parent volunteers. Your parents are going to be, you're excited about that? Yeah. Your parents are going to be probably your primary source if you're working on things at home, right? Especially if it's a building event and you're building it at home, your parent is probably going to be the adult in the room that helps you and guides you through whatever event it is that you have chosen. Question? Absolutely. If you have family members outside of your immediate family that are sciencey people, you absolutely. Yes. Any questions on that? So your parents need to see this. They need to say that it's okay that you are going to be joining this. You don't have to pay anything right now, all right? That will be later when you get the contract. But they do need to contact me about the parent meeting. I actually will contact them when I have their email, all right, to tell them that the parent meeting is important and what we can do if they can't make the parent meeting, right? But this informational slip here that Mrs. Ballard just passed out to you, okay, that needs to be turned in on Tuesday. So you have over the weekend, that's it, Tuesday. Because by then I need to know about how many people. Also, on the bottom of this form, it says participating students must select event interests in the Google form, and it's right here. You just type that into Google. You have to be logged in as a Campbell Sports student, so that means you have to go to Google, sign in with your school account, right? Do you guys, does everybody know how to do that? Like when you open up your Gmail? No? Have you signed on to any school computers yet, Xavier? Okay. Are you new? When did you get here? The beginning of the year? Yeah. Okay. I will talk to your teachers to figure it out. So we can get you on there. So I'll probably stop by during your study hall or ETL. Okay. All you have to do is get into your email, and then you'll be able to put this website in, and it will bring you here. Okay? Everybody know how to use a Google form? Yeah. Anybody not know how to use a Google form? All right, it's a Google form. So this is our Science Olympiad website. Let me just show you what it looks like on the home page. This is the video that you guys saw earlier. Sound familiar? Okay. At the top, you can see there's the event manual and the event interest form. The event interest form is the one where you select your events. So you need to put, there's some simple information like, what's your name? What's your grade level? What's your t-shirt size? And then come the questions about what event do you want to do. You need to rate your events by first, second, and third choice. So first is the one you want to do the most, and then second and third. Understand that? Okay. There's 3 different sections that you need to pick. Oh, how is this not moving? Here we go. So you select your choices, and then you have to tell me why you'd be a good candidate for that. Maybe you have past experience in this area. Maybe this is something that you've read about a lot and you really like, you love the solar system and you stargaze at night. Okay? Maybe you have a family member that works in this particular field of interest or has a career in this area, like rocks and minerals. Maybe there's a geologist in your family that could help you out. So you need to explain to me why these are the ones that you want to pick. And you do this for 3 different sections. Okay? The last one is the building events. Now, if you don't want to do a building event, because oftentimes people don't want to do building events, that is okay. You can say, I do not want to build anything. You can select that choice. Okay? All right. Now, here's the catch. Before you can select any of these events, you kind of need to know what they are all about. So this little tab right here, the event manual, brings you to the Science Olympiad event manual. Whoops, once again, it's not moving here. Move. It's like I just can't reach that part. Maybe it's this part. Oh, here we go. It slides up and down. It's intense. It's really intense. Okay? On here, it tells you all the criteria, everything you need to know, what kind of things you can bring and what you can expect as far as the test or the lab or the building event. For example, this is anatomy and physiology. It says you need to understand the anatomy and physiology of the human body systems below. You can have up to 2 people on that team. Now, you don't get to decide who those 2 people are. It's decided by the survey. So if it's your number 1 choice and somebody else's number 1 choice, that's how you get matched up. All right? It has the event parameters. Like you can bring 1 piece of paper that contains information on both sides. Xavier? Yeah. That's a good question. It would depend on the information that we looked about team playing, right? That criteria about your grades, attendance, your behavior, your teamwork, things like that. Mm-hmm.
What if your choices are all ones you know together? Can you do all of them?
No. You're in 6th grade, you can do 2. Yep, nope, that's okay. I'll see you later. Nolan?
So what happens if both of your team members are far away from you and you're going to work on your project?
Well, it depends on the project itself. But if it's not a building event, everything you can do online, right? You guys can use Google Hangouts and you can work together in link. Huh? Your Hangouts doesn't work? There's ways around it. I can guide you and help you figure it out. Okay? But it's not that easy, is what my point is here. Okay? The competition, so it says you need to know, this is just anatomy and physiology for an example. Respiratory system. You'll need to know the anatomy and the functions of the respiratory system. Mechanisms of the pulmonary ventilation, patterns of breathing, measures of pulmonary ventilation, gas exchange and O2 transport, including oxygen dissociation curves. If this doesn't make sense to you, then you should probably not do that event. Right? I know it's a lot for you guys, especially in 6th grade. Because a lot of this stuff is probably stuff that you've never even talked about before. But it doesn't hurt to be in the group and see how the older kids study, how the older kids practice. That'll make you ready next year. Questions? Okay, so you'll need to go to this website right here. You'll need to look through the event manual at the ones you specifically want to do, and then you need to let me know which ones you want to do. Whew. Did I lose anybody yet? Not yet? I know. I've been talking all day. All right. Any questions at all? No questions at all? Okay. I have nothing else for you guys. So thank you. I'm going to stop this.